Okay, welcome back to the channel, everybody. I'm Lady Nika, and with to me something that we really need to discuss. And if it breaks off because I'm on a limited time space with Spreaker, I will do a part two to this. But I wanted to come in and talk about Moniece Slaughter. Y'all know her from Love and Hip Hop Hollywood. Well, last night, instead of her going live and tweeting about the show, something more serious was going on inside their family structure, and she took to her live last night to tell us what was going on. And basically, her brother DJ, who suffers from mental illness, uh, whom she says she rarely speaks about because of the cruelty that people can, how they can be sometimes, how cruel they can be, has gone missing. Now, her grandmother and her mom was there, but she explained about 6 months ago that singer Brandy Norwood advised him to stop taking his meds and start consuming alcohol and marijuana. On the live feed, if you paid attention, someone was in the background saying not to say the marijuana, so she retracted the marijuana and she kept the accusation of her talking him into doing alcohol. As I told y'all, there has been, sightings of him, and each time the family arrives, he's nowhere to be found. Then he was picked up by police walking on the side of a freeway, and because he could answer five simple questions, which were, what is his date of birth, who is the president, who is what were those questions? Where are you? Do you know where you are? What is his name? Who is the president? What is your birthday? And what was that day's date? Because he can answer that, the system deemed him competent and he was released. But they're saying that he is not competent because he's now hearing voices. He told the police at the time of the arrest that he was being made an example of, and he also talks out of his head, according to the family. He's paranoid, and with all that, he was released. He was held at one point on a 72-hour hold, and after that 72-hour hold, he was placed on a 14-day hold, to which he began to tell the doctors that, of course, he didn't want to be on medications and that he was fine, and for reasons unknown, he was released. Now, as far as this situation with Brandy, that's hearsay to me. Okay, I'm not no big Brandy Norwood fan, but at the end of the day, I call stuff the way I see it, and the way I see it is, we don't know. Even though her mom Marla was on the live last night stating that she had spoken with Brandy several times about how DJ is and how the importance of the medications, and each time she did that, Brandy was alleged to have said that he don't like the medication, basically trying to talk them into not having him on the medications. I don't know that to be true. You don't know it to be true, so it goes under hearsay. I don't care how they resolve that. That's between the Norwoods and the Slaughter family, or whatever their last names is, because them people been friends for over 15 years. So I'm gonna leave that part out. I just mentioned it because it was a part of her life, and she did make those accusations. What I want to talk about is how mental illness is no joke. Okay, according to that live last night, this boy came home in 2015 from college and he was diagnosed of having schizophrenia and bipolar disorder. Medications are essential to his well-being, and for 7 days now, according to them, he has not had medications. Well, he's been going on a downward spiral off of since he's been off the medications. He was on the medication, did well for 2 years, got off the medication, allegedly at the urging or assisting of Brandy Norwood. We don't know that to be true. That's all alleged. But he did begin to not take his medication, and it's been a downward spiral that he's been in for quite some time. Now he's run off and nobody knows exactly where he is. And it's heartbreaking to see a family go through that. I saw down in the comments of several, people when the live was going on, as well as on on this video I saw from Pet T Blog or something like that. Go check that out. Pet T Blog. They did a video about it where they played the entire live, so you can go and watch it for yourself. And I'll try to link it in my video description box down here so that you can go watch the live in itself. But my thing is this: the system does fail, and I know that firsthand. Just because a person appears to be able to, to function in everyday society does not mean that they are actually able to do so. Okay, it's a one thing about some mentally inept people can fool you. I've seen it firsthand, and the fact that just because he can answer those five little questions, the system deemed him competent enough to let him go is heartbreaking in itself. And I think, in my opinion, based off of what I got off that video, they are more concerned at shining a light on how the system failed this family and how this boy is really at risk right now. This young man, I'm gonna stop calling him a boy. He's a boy to me, but he's a grown man. The grandmother, we find out in the live if you go over and look at it. And I'm going to link Pet T Blog video in my description box. I'll make sure to do that. But he's mentally inept to take care of himself. And now he's become a threat to not just himself, possibly others. And they're urging anybody that see this young man to call the police. Don't try to apprehend him yourself because he can become combative to you, but to help. And this is just another example of how the system can fail you when something is wrong with you. I'm just heartbroken for her and her family. I hope that they can find this young man before something happens to him. And that's really what they want. They want, if the public see him, please DM Moniece, her grandmother or her mother, and let them know so that maybe they can get hold to him, because each time he's cited, by the time the family finds out about it, he's gone. And if he's arrested, he's been released by the time that they're able to get him. And clearly by the live, it's been a lot of work done on the family's part to try to get this boy back back on track before something bad happens to him. But imagine, guys, 7 days. They said he walked like almost 41 miles from where they live to downtown LA. And, he's just wandering around. He has no cell phone, no money, no nothing. And when he was arrested for walking in the middle of the freeway, walking on the side of the freeway, they took him in, but they released him because he seemed to be okay and not a threat to himself or others. I don't know what to say about something like that. I just find it very, very disturbing. I was going to talk about this on my Fuck Shit Friday video, but considering this is a missing person with mental illness out here, I felt like it was important to break this away from my Fuck Shit Friday topics and come in and do a private, a separate video, by itself, because it was heartbreaking. It really was. Stop worrying about how Moniece and her family acting. Those people in that video, that live feed I saw, yeah, it may seem like they ain't humbling themselves, but imagine the frustration that this family must be feeling trying to get this young man help, and nobody is listening to what they're saying. The system would not listen to them. And as a result thereof, he's out here wandering the streets aimlessly and could get hurt or hurt somebody, And that's what we don't want for this family or him. We don't want him to end up hurt or dead. We want to try to find him and get him the help that he clearly needs. And I'm not here to judge anybody about anything. I just would like to see a resolution to this that's not heartbreaking. And heartbreaking would be if he is hurt out there or he hurts somebody. That's what we don't want. And, I saw, so people are so negative in this world. They are so negative, and they judge these celebrities like, just because you see one thing on the screen, that's for TV. These are real human beings everyday lives. They breathe, eat, and shit just like the rest of us. They need help. And instead of worrying about how they don't seem to be humbling themselves or whatnot on the video where they're asking about the help, I didn't see it. I saw a mother frustrated because not for nothing, y'all. If they're an adult, it's very, very hard to do anything about a mentally disturbed person when they can play the role like they're so mentally okay, and people will believe that. But they don't know what goes on behind closed doors. And her mother was saying that, there were times where he was a threat to them, you know. So if any of my little things are in the Los Angeles area or nearby, and y'all happen to spot this young man, please, please call the authorities or DM Moniece Slaughter on IG. If you go to her IG page, she posted a picture of her brother. I'm unable to do it on Spreaker, but y'all can go to Moniece's Instagram page, or I'm pretty sure she's probably got it on all her social media pages, but I saw it on Instagram. And if you see this young man, just contact the family or the police because we don't want anything to happen to him. But oftentimes, mental illness escapes people. And I don't know why. As serious as a condition as it is, people don't take it serious until the happens. So if you're able to do it, if you see him, you're able to get in contact with this family, please do so. And I will link Pet T Blog video down in my description box. You guys can go over and watch the entire live and get the backstory on everything. And again, I want to say this is not an attack on Brandy Norwood because as far as I'm concerned, it's all hearsay until we can prove that she has actually been the person who was instrumental in talking him out of it, taking the medications that he needed in order to be mentally healthy. That's all I have to say about that. I'm not attacking her. I'm just telling you what they said, and you can watch the video for yourself. Y'all remember, the depth of your struggle will determine the height of your success. In the meantime, in between time, please remember to rate, comment, subscribe, and share this video. And I'll see you guys back tonight for If Loving You Is Wrong. Peace.